Fighting games are hard, like really hard. Fighting games today aren't like how they used to be for a lot of reasons. Today they get pretty crazy in what you see going on the screen, and it's really hard to even know what's happening to you sometimes. Even people that play fighting games semi regularly can look at themselves and say, I put a ton of time into this genre and I still don't fully know what's going on, or I feel like I'm missing something. When you're new and struggling to remember combos or even get the moves you want to come out, and this is happening to you, it's really easy to get frustrated and not want to play anymore. However, I'm under the impression that most people think about fighting games wrong. And just making a slight change or adjustment in how you see playing fighting games can make a world of difference and make this whole process easier. If you're a person that feels like you've stopped improving in the fighting games you play, or just don't know how to go about understanding them, this is the perfect video for you. Everyone knows that fighting games are two-player experiences. Guy A fights Guy B. But when it comes time to play the game, we get so caught up in what we want to do or think we should be doing, and the mechanical difficulty behind pulling off the moves or making it happen, that we play the game as if it's a single player experience. Fighting games seem to have a stigma of people constantly moving, pressing buttons extremely quickly with insane reaction times. Most people pick these games up thinking that they need to be able to do this all of the time. In most instances, it's better not to do anything at all. And in playing on autopilot, you will make the learning process way harder than it needed to be. Autopilot as a player will hurt you in three main ways. The first way is it will tire you out. Mindlessly moving and pressing buttons wears you out faster. That mindless pressing will also add to the pressure that you feel while you're playing the game and add to that feeling of being overwhelmed. It's funny how in the attempt to do everything by pressing everything, you end up doing nothing. The second thing that playing on autopilot can do to you is blind you. Pressing a lot of buttons and trying to make everything happen makes it really hard for you to notice what your opponent is doing. It's hard to see what else is coming your way or what else, there's no room for anything else in your mind. And this is where that interaction between player to player or guy A and guy B is lost. Here you're basically playing a single player experience and you're wondering why it's going wrong. The third and most important thing that autopilot can do to you as a player is that it can leave you wide open. Operating on autopilot will create punishable opportunities for you without you even knowing it. It's no different than serving yourself to your opponent on a silver platter. While it's easier to believe that our opponents are gods among us and there was nothing that we could have done, the reality is that we were giving ourselves up for free in a lot of these times, and that failure to realize that you're doing that is going to result in you getting beat a lot more times than you would like. The best fighters in video games and real life are the people that can quickly find the weaknesses in their opponent, not the ones that can pull off the sickest moves. To take your game to the next level or make games more manageable when learning, you have to turn off autopilot. You have to beat that stigma. Instead, Look for habits in your opponent any way you can. It may seem daunting at first or impossible, but the more you do it, the better you will get at it. The key is to shift your thinking from that single player experience. You should be thinking of every action you take in respect to what your opponent did or is about to do. A great way to build a skill set to read your opponent is to start playing games like Joseph Joestar. In the case of predicting and saying out loud what you think your opponent is going to do next, rather than just doing something on autopilot. This can be for anything, like next you're gonna jump at me, or next you're gonna do a super. And you're gonna make these decisions or guesses based off of like how far they are from you, how much meter they have, all of those things. And yes, you're going to be wrong a lot in the beginning, but the more you do it, it will start to feel so right, and it just comes instinctually, and you won't have to say it at all anymore. Ways that this would change how you play will be, instead of instinctually jumping off the ledge for a spike in Super Smash Bros., wait and look for your opponent to jump. And next time you have that same situation, you know exactly where they're going to jump. Instead of constantly air dashing and jumping in on your opponent, just wait and see what they would do on autopilot and how they will approach you instead. When you have your opponent in the corner or on the ledge, don't just throw yourself at them wildly. Wait for them to try to roll out or jump out. Overall, you don't need to have that optimal play style and combo down to get wins. You just need to play the person. If there's a move that you struggle against, back up into a range that will make you look enticing, and then punish them for it. You don't need a long optimal combo. Just being able to consistently poke out that move will be enough to make your opponent not want to do it anymore. Be crafty. Identify what moves and or situations that your opponent struggle with, and not what you think you should be doing. This has been Straw Hat Central. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. I really appreciate it, and would definitely help us grow if you would like to see more videos like this. Thank you.